This is your announcer, Smoking Dave, and you're listening to a man who, despite what the emailers say, really does own a poison jean jacket. And here's visual proof. It's the Kevin Friedman Show.
Hey now, it's Tuesday, August 14th, and another SportsGossip.com podcast is on the air. I'm your host, Kevin Friedman, along with my announcer, Smokin' Dave, and together we will bring you 10 of the hottest stories off the SportsGossip.com website. And there you go, to the people that emailed the show claiming I didn't really own a poison jean jacket. Here's your proof, and I'm not ashamed of it either. I love that jacket. Now, Dave, give us that first story.
Aaron Rodgers is still trashing his young receivers.
The Packers quarterback spoke to the media on Monday, and he did not have any kind words for his three rookie wide receivers. He went on to say he doesn't care about hurting their feelings, and that all he cares about is winning. You can go to sportsgossip.com to watch the video and see exactly what Rodgers had to say about his three rookie wide receivers. Now, he does still have Randall Cobb and Davante Adams, along with newly acquired tight end Jimmy Graham. But with the loss of his favorite receiver, Jordy Nelson, and the fact that he doesn't like any of the three rookie wide receivers, I don't see why Green Bay isn't reaching out to Dez Bryant. As a Bears fan, I hope they don't, and Bryant is rumored to be meeting with the Browns this week. But as of right now, he's still a free agent. He's still a top 20 receiver in this league. If Cobb or Davante Adams goes down with an injury, they're counting on three rookie wide receivers who Rodgers doesn't even like, so it only makes too much sense for the Packers to go after him, especially if Aaron Rodgers hates three of his five wide receivers. On the phone to discuss this, I see we have a returning guest. It's Aaron Rodgers' high school girlfriend, Shirley. You're on the air, Shirley.
Oh, Kevin, this news about my high school boyfriend, Aaron Rodgers, is really upsetting me. I just want to let Aaron know that if he's listening, I'd be happy to come down to training camp and we can make out under the bleachers just like we did back in high school.
Now, first off, Shirley, I don't want to offend you, but you just don't sound like Aaron Rodgers' type. You sure you dated him in high school? And second of all, he's got a girlfriend right now. You ever heard of Danica Patrick?
Well, how dare you, Kevin Friedman? Aaron Rodgers and I were in love in high school, and if he didn't go off to college, we would have got married, and we would have had kids by now.
Oh, Shirley, I didn't mean to make you cry. All right, I take it back. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is going to break up with Danica any day now and come crawling back to you, Shirley. Now, Dave, what's next?
Ryan Tannehill kicked rookie running back Kalen Ballage out of Dolphins huddle.
Midway through the Dolphins practice Sunday, the quarterback yelled at rookie fourth-round pick Kalen Ballage and kicked him out of the huddle after the running back missed a blocking assignment that resulted in a clean sack by Charles Harris. Now, obviously, Tannehill's trying to show some leadership, but if you ask me, he hasn't earned the right to kick people out of the huddle, whether they're rookies or not. This is his 7th year in the league, and while he's put up decent stats, he's accomplished nothing. The Dolphins have made the playoffs once since he became the starting quarterback, and he wasn't healthy enough to start in that game, which they lost. And of course, he missed all last year with an ACL injury. Now, the Dolphins lost their best receiver in Jarvis Landry and replaced him with Danny Amendola, who's a decent player, but let's be honest, Tom Brady made him look better than he is. And I doubt Tannehill's going to be able to do that. Add Kenny Stills and Devontae Parker as their number 2 and 3 receivers, and I think it's safe to say Miami isn't going to be scaring anyone with their aerial attack. So Tannehill can go ahead and try and show leadership and yell at rookies, but it's going to do him no good because their chances of beating New England in the AFC East are slim to none. Dave, what's next?
Tiger Woods hugged Brooks Koepka's girlfriend Jenna Sims and left no doubt that he's back.
Well, Brooks Koepka may have won the PGA Championship on Sunday, his third major win in 14 months, But that seemed to be only the third most important story of the day, as obviously number one was Tiger Woods, who shot a 6-under 64 to finish 2 shots back in second place and put up his lowest final round in a major in his career. And the second biggest story was Jenna Sims, Koepka's girlfriend, because I would have turned my TV off after the 17th hole when Tiger lost his chance to win, if not for her, because the camera's pretty much focused on her the rest of the way, and it was a good move because she is gorgeous, and you could check out pictures of her at sportsgossip.com. As far as Tiger being back, let's not make that official until he wins his 15th major, which he's going to have to wait till next year to do. Did he look great? Yes. If he plays like this next year, will he obviously have a great chance to win a major? Yes. But until he does it, he is not officially back. Now, Dave, what's next?
LaMelo and Lonzo Ball too lit after Los Angeles Ballers win first JBA championship.
The LA Ballers edged out the Seattle Ballers Sunday at the Citizen Business Bank Arena in Ontario to be named the first ever champions of the Junior Basketball Association. As winners of the league, the Ballers will get brand new 2018 Cadillacs, which you can check out at sportsgossip.com. LiAngelo Ball was named MVP of the JBA following his game-high 58-point performance, and you can go to sportsgossip.com to watch a video of LiAngelo, LaMelo, and Lonzo all celebrating the win. On the phone, I see we have LiAngelo Ball's biggest fan. You're on the air.
Oh yeah, Kevin Friedman. I told you LiAngelo would be a champion, and not only is he a champion, he put up 58 points, baby!
Listen, guy, you said LiAngelo was going to lead the Lakers to 12 NBA titles, not the LA Ballers to a JBA title.
Hey, my guy LiAngelo just put up 58 points and won an MVP. I'm not going to let you rain on my parade. LiAngelo Ball, y'all. He's going to stand tall, y'all. He's the best player in the NBA, y'all. He's LiAngelo Ball, y'all. Oh yeah, MVP.
Wow, that guy is nuts, but I might be as well, because I don't know about you, but I love that song. Dave, what's next?
Cubs rookie David Bodie hits walk-off grand slam, then meets Bill Murray.
Well, the Cubs did it again on Sunday night. They picked up their Major League best 37th comeback win this season, and they did it in dramatic fashion as they trailed the Nationals 3-0 when rookie infielder David Bodie stepped up and hit a game-winning walk-off grand slam. Now, this is the Cubbies' second walk-off grand slam of the season. Jason Hayward did it back in June, and after the game he got a hug from Bill Murray, aka Big Ern McCracken, which you can watch a video of at sportsgossip.com. Now, with MVP Chris Bryant battling injuries this season, Bodie has been a fantastic replacement. He's hitting .329 with 3 homers in 34 games for the Cubs. But as soon as Bryant comes back, it's going to be tough to keep him on the field. I've heard talk that they should move Javi Baez to short and bench Addison Russell to keep Bodie on the field, but to me that's insane. Russell's one of the best, if not the best fielding shortstop in the league, and while he's only hitting about .260 this year, he's capable of getting hot offensively, and even if he doesn't, his defense is so valuable that you need him out there. So all you Cub fans that are falling in love with Bodie, just take it easy, be happy we have a guy filling in nicely for Chris Bryant, and we have a guy who can come off the bench in the playoffs who's a clutch pinch hitter. The Cubs have a 3-game lead over the Brewers in the NL Central, and they'll start a 3-game series with Milwaukee in Chicago later today. And that's 5 stories down. We got 5 to go, but we got to take a break, so we'll be back right after this.
Hey there, this is Antonio Finkelstein, and I'm here to tell you with football season upon us that the only thing better than watching football on a Sunday is watching football on a Sunday with one of my prostitutes. Our girls can come dressed up as your favorite team's cheerleader, or we can send a fella over to dress up as your favorite player. We don't judge, so check us out at Antonio Finkelstein's prostitution app And come football Sunday, you'll be scoring a guaranteed touchdown. You can find us in the App Store.
And we're back. Dave, give us that next story.
Steelers fan showed up to practice with pads and a helmet, wanted to check Antonio Brown.
Now this is a great story. Some dude tried to pull a Willie Mays Hayes, showed up to the Steelers training camp in full pads, in the exact uniform the Pittsburgh Steelers defense wears, and according to Antonio Brown, he wanted to check him one-on-one. You can go to sportsgossip.com to see a video of this guy, and if you ask me, the Steelers should have given him his chance. I mean, the guy took the time to show up in the exact uniform, fully padded out, and he was ready to go. So have him sign a waiver and give him a shot. If he stinks, you throw him out. And who knows, if he's any good, he turns into the best story in the NFL. But the Steelers stepped in and had security escort him off the field, so he wasn't given his chance. And now we'll never know. The Steelers could have had their next Troy Polamalu for all we know. He was wearing his number after all. Now Dave, what's next?
2 more arrested in Scott Frost burglary case.
Well, if you're a regular listener to this show, then you know nobody has had more in-depth coverage of the Scott Frost burglary case than the SportsGossip.com podcast. As first we reported last week that a 17-year-old girl was arrested, and now police have arrested 2 more suspects. A 16-year-old boy was identified as a suspect, along with Andrew Williams, who's 20 years old, and was arrested Saturday on a burglary charge. According to the Lincoln Police Department, investigators recovered several pairs of shoes, but continue to search for additional items. His missing championship rings have been recovered, but the signed UCF helmet is still missing. On the phone to discuss this is sports memorabilia expert, Big Dong. Donger, you're on the air.
Hello, long-time listener, eighth-time caller. I just want to let your listeners know that I have signed UCF helmet for sale. And Andrew Williams, don't rat me out. You keep your mouth shut. Okay, if you want that helmet, you contact me. It's a bigdong@yahoo.com. Thank you.
Donger, it sounds to me like you got underage kids stealing sports memorabilia for you. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You can't approve nothing. And until you can shut your mouth. Thank you.
I got a feeling one of these days Donger's going to be calling us from jail. Dave, what's next?
All Jay Cutler scenes on Very Cavallari, episode 6.
Ugh, why are we doing a story about this show again? I mean, there's a lot of dumb stuff on TV, but this show might be the dumbest. No offense, but anyone who watches it is an idiot and would be better off staring at a wall for an hour. Cutler spent 10 years in the NFL underperforming, made millions of dollars doing it, and while his wife may be hot, after watching her for 5 minutes on TV, I wanted to stick a fork in my ear, and anyone who watches this show should be ashamed of themselves. And Dave, never do another story on this show again. Now what's next?
Carmelo Anthony to come off the bench for Rockets.
Yes, Melo officially signed his 1-year, $2.4 million deal with the Houston Rockets on Monday, and it's said Anthony will have to compete for a starting spot in training camp, but could ultimately come off the bench based on what Rockets coach Mike D'Antoni decides is best for the team. Melo has never come off the bench in his NBA career, and if you ask me, he won't be coming off the bench next year either. There's not enough talent on this Houston team to justify not starting him. And while I wouldn't play him heavy starter minutes like I would with Harden and Paul, I would give him the respect of at least starting him. Now, as you know, Houston was a game away from knocking off Golden State last year in the playoffs before Chris Paul got injured, and while they did lose Trevor Ariza, adding a scorer like Anthony can hurt, and I'd still say Houston is the strongest contender in the West to have a chance at knocking off Golden State next year. As far as the East, well, Dave, give us that next story.
Gordon Hayward is dunking on defenders again.
The Boston Celtics forward, who missed all of last season with a devastating ankle injury, is looking like he's fully recovered, and you can go to sportsgossip.com to watch a video of him dunking. just to confirm it. Now, with a healthy Hayward and a healthy Kyrie Irving, in addition to the rest of the talented Boston roster, I think the Celtics are the number one contender in the East. And while Philly and Toronto will probably both be improved, I don't think either of those teams are even as close to as good as Boston if they're fully healthy. Now, can Boston knock off Golden State? I would have to see it to believe it, and I wouldn't bet on it. But again, with a fully healthy roster, it wouldn't shock me. And that'll wrap it up for another SportsGossip.com podcast. I want to thank my announcer, Smokin' Dave. Thanks to everybody who called in. And of course, thank you for listening. As always, for these stories and much, much more, you can go to SportsGossip.com. Our next podcast is Friday. And until then, we'll see you next time.